Selling your home can be stressful, but it doesn't have to be. Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. There are no showings, no open houses, no stress. Work with the #1 real estate team in the U.S. and close with confidence. Go to markspain.com today.
Good afternoon from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I'm Ross Johnston. In Tennessee Vols news, it has been reported by Pete Thamel and Jeff Passan that Tennessee baseball coach Tony Vitello is finalizing a deal to become the manager of the San Francisco Giants. In NFL news, Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is finally back on the practice field after suffering a hamstring injury a few weeks ago against the Chiefs. He will look to make his return as the 1-5 Ravens host the Chicago Bears on Sunday. Buccaneers head coach Todd Bowles told reporters that running back Bucky Irving and wide receiver Chris Godwin will be out for Sunday's game versus the Saints. The Miami Dolphins placed tight end Darren Waller on injured reserve and signed tight end Greg Dulcich off the practice squad to the active roster. And lastly, the Washington Commanders announced that quarterback Jaden Daniels will be out for their game Monday night versus the Chiefs, which will put former Titans quarterback Marcus Mariota in position to start once again for the Commanders. For all your foundation repair, waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once in your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. Next hour, we'll be joined by Stoney Keeley. I don't know if he's going to be in studio or not.
Oh, he was checking to come in.
I've initially, because he has other responsibilities. I didn't even ask him and offer him to come in. And then I'm driving into the studio, just driving into work, and I go, Stoney, I assumed you couldn't make it in, but hey, want to extend the invitation for you to come in. He says if he can sneak away, he will be here. Okay, so we'll find out later on in the show if he's going to be able to come in studio. If not, he'll join us by phone, talk about the Titans defense, Titans offense, and of course, we'll talk about building blocks for the future. But I guess we got to start off the show with a little bit of UT baseball talk because the San Francisco Giants are preparing to announce the University of Tennessee coach Tony Vitello has been hired as the 40th manager in franchise history. And unlike all 39 of his predecessors, he's making that jump from a college campus to a major league dugout. He has no professional experience as a player or a coach at the major league level. So it's an unprecedented jump for someone like that. Obviously, he's going to have to adjust to a 162-game Major League Baseball schedule, which is entirely different. So you got the egos of multimillionaire players and managing a roster that is not of his own orchestration. Because, he gets to do a lot of the recruiting. Technically, they have general managers and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure collaboration will be a buzzword and his input will be heard. But ultimately, it doesn't fall under his purview. But he's taking less money, going to San Francisco, where California has an income tax, Tennessee doesn't. But you got to take the opportunity when it happens and when it arrives. And this is a huge opportunity for him.
Yeah, you got to be excited for him. I don't think a lot of people at Tennessee are excited for him, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
It was going to be hard once that got out there. Didn't be the first guy to ever do that. Now you're part of the history of Major League Baseball, and especially if he has success. I'm wondering if he's going to change his style and his approach, maybe because of the length of the game or games and as far as the season, and then just when you're dealing with pro athletes compared to young athletes. So it's a little bit different, but wish him well and excited about what the future holds for college baseball there at UT. They're going to hire within, or they're going to go outside lurking and looking? Is he going to bring some of the coaches with them?
Yeah.
See, that's something you got to kind of take into play here. And then you have to, Danny White and crew, do you really want to start, at this point from the beginning and get a whole new set of coaches? Just sometimes you want something new, especially this is, a big hire. So he's done a good job in the hires they had to make before. So you have to trust in him. Hey, applaud him. He did a great job at Tennessee. I know Tennessee fans are very upset, but with success comes poking, and the biggest and the best, Major League Baseball came, and he took the call.
Number one recruiting class for Tennessee coming in, and how does that change?
Oh yeah, that's going to change.
I mean, that's a big thing to keep an eye on for University of
That's
Tennessee
probably why
baseball.
they're going to try to keep some of those coaches. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Do you know, Ross? Who's the big assistant that they've been there for a long time? They think they're going to try to keep. I don't know.
I'll look it up.
I was just talking to Bananas about it. He was kind of naming. He knows all the coaches, but yeah, that's going to be. Hey, what direction do you go?
Been there for 8 seasons in Knoxville and had 10 first-round picks from the pitching side. 10 first-round picks.
Yeah, I think it's the pitching coach. Yeah.
The associate head coach is Josh Elander. One of my buddies has told me he would like him to be promoted from within.
That seems to be the growing sentiment from, I heard Lucas mention him as well, so that's maybe the growing sentiment among the fan bases to promote him. Apparently the guy that hired him, Buster Posey, who's the Giants president of baseball operations, who he himself, that name may sound familiar because he was a college baseball standout over at Florida State. This wasn't the first choice. Nick Hundley, who was the early front runner for the job. Now, doesn't mean that, I guess I shouldn't say first or second choice, but Nick Hundley was the early front runner for the job, withdrew his name from consideration due to some private family reasons. But what he loved most about Tony Vitello is the magnetism and high motor is what really resonated with the Giants president of baseball operations, Buster Posey. How that translates to 162 games, we'll see. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you got to be rooting.
Yeah.
Well, I would be. I don't know if some UT fans.
Well, yeah, true. But I mean, this could be a new precedent that could be set if he finds success. Think about all the college coaches that may now be like, okay, well, maybe I can make the leap.
Well, yeah, that's why I said he made history. So you can't change that, and what that could do for some of the coaches in college and the opportunity it may present if he has some success. Even if he fails, but just middling, they're going to be open to it.
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, if he's just even modestly successful, not even like Super Bowl World Series or anything like that. But if he's kind of got floating around 500 for the majority of his career, I think it's still going to open up doors to that possibility for major league teams.
Oh, but it hurts, man. Tennessee, I mean, man, he put, for a long time now, he's put baseball back on the map, man, in the forefront of World Series and all that, man. And so it's a tough blow, but you got to also look at it as an opportunity for a fresh start, and maybe with the right hire, boom, you could take off even further. So let's see if you can. Hey, new opportunity, new time, move on.
Yeah,
that's the way life is, man.
Tony V went 341 to 131, his record, winning 72% of his games. They were 13-6 in SEC tournament play and 29-13 in NCAA tournament play. Won the World Series in 24, 3 Super Regionals in 21, 23, and 24, and went to the NCAA Regional 5 times. And he was voted Coach of the Year twice. So very impressive resume in his time at Tennessee.
Yeah, no doubt. He made the casual fan pay attention to Tennessee baseball. That is for sure.
Yeah.
I was all in. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. And a lot of people in the chat are saying Elander and where was it? And Anderson are the two good candidates on the staff in that are already there. Hopefully that can mitigate maybe recruits leaving. Because, I mean, that would be a big drain on a program that's ascending and competitive and all this kind of stuff. I mean, jokingly, yesterday we were kind of talking about, I was like, well, if you keep Tony V, he could be your Nick Saban, right? Like the Nick Saban of baseball for University of Tennessee. And Joseph today, well, maybe he is going to be Nick Saban, but he's LSU Nick Saban, where he's going to go to the pros, then come back to college and go to Arkansas and whip Tennessee's butt the rest of the way. I was like, man, you are battered Vols syndrome personified over there. Man. Like, that's the worst case scenario that Joseph laid out for University of Tennessee fans.
Well, he was also, by saying that statement, he's cheering for him to fail and that he eventually will come back because he can't come back and then get another job and be competing against Tennessee. So that would suck. Great for baseball, though, if it did happen.
Yep. 615-737-1045 if you want to give your reaction to that. We got Eli on the phone. Eli, you're on with Blaine and Zach.
It's Elon Musk.
Here, fellas.
Eli, man.
Hello.
I just wanted to take this second as a Vanderbilt fan to point and laugh and say, ha, 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 welcome back to poverty, Vols baseball. Y'all have a good one.
You too. I like it. A little bit of smack talk.
Yeah.
See if University of Tennessee fans
like all that smack talk. Why do you like smack talk so
I don't
much?
know. It's just fun. I don't know. I'm an antagonizer, I guess you could say.
Really?
I like to a habitual line stepper.
Did you smack talk when you played sports?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do? Where'd you wear it? Who can justify and factify that you did this?
Well, okay.
Let's go because you talking all this crap. But see, the dudes like you, I would bust you in the mouth so fast. Oh my God! And you'd be like, oh crap, this is different. Because to me, you edge on. So that tells me you ain't played against no dudes.
Well, I probably haven't. I haven't played
no
like
real
anybody.
Dudes. Ain't no real dudes. All that smack talk. That's like fan type talk. That's not no real sports. Like dudes talking that smack, boy. Better watch out.
Gotta let that play do the talking, Zach.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
I did in soccer. I never talked smack in soccer. Of course, I was also
because you was exhausted.
Well, I was also a defender. So, like, anytime, pretty much the ball would get kicked away, and I didn't have any time to talk to anybody because I'd kick it away.
So basically, you tell us you didn't smack that.
Well, no, I was going to say Columbia tackle football people. Now, this is they can know that.
Columbia, Tennessee.
So that is our. You know how people when they graduate or go to college, they come back and get together and play tackle football without pads on like morons.
Yeah.
I was going back and thinking about we were all idiots for doing this. But those people know I talk some smack, so I can at least say that I did it on there. But that is also a bunch of us 24-year-olds.
Really good players can talk smack because they can back it up.
I could talk smack regardless.
All right, well, let's go play some football.
Gotta get him in. You would definitely take me down.
A 30-year-old. Let's see who wins. I want you to smack talk me. Oh, boy, you may not make it back into the studio.
It'd take one tackle for you to break me in half.
Oh, no. You never know.
I definitely do know.
I got you by 20, man.
It does not matter.
I'm going to have to get some icy hot for both of y'all after that.
Yeah, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how old you are. You could probably take me down at this stage. There is no doubt.
Oh, man. That's smack talk, man. I don't know.
I say the only person I can outrun at this station is for sure is Jackson. I mean, that would probably be the only person I could outrun. I am not fast. I've never. That's why I played defense on soccer.
So how was you a defender?
That's because you don't have to be fast to be a defender. You just have to be quick. Not fast.
So you were quick.
Yeah, I was quick back then. I mean, we're talking when I was like 15 and 16.
We can all go pull out video on me. So somebody got to pull out some video on you or quick defender.
Okay.
I want to see this because I want to factify that you for sure that you did this because I don't think you were like that.
At soccer?
What grade you talking about?
Soccer.
What grade?
Oh, I was like 16, 17.
Oh, so you were in high school?
Yeah.
So you was on a high school team?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's the high school team?
Yeah, I mean, like a very small high school, but yeah.
Oh, okay. It don't matter. You was on a high school team.
Yeah.
Well, let's pull out some video. Let's check it out.
We'll see. We'll see. I don't know if anybody's got any. I'll have to see if my parents got some.
Oh,
I tell you what, the one thing I do have is I broke my nose playing soccer. My senior year of high school, and I had a senior pictures. They had to airbrush it, but they couldn't get all of it. I'd see if I could find me a picture of that for you, for that.
Yeah, I was never known for smack talking. That's for the birds. Nah, don't have time for that. Let my actions do all the talking.
Yeah, I got to take any kind of advantage I can try to get.
That is not an advantage.
That's for some people. Listen,
you're not listening.
You got to remember, Blaine. I
You're not
played
listening.
at a small Christian school. They're not used to
that
talking.
mean?
They're not used to hearing smack talk.
So when you smack talk, that scared them?
Yeah.
Oh.
That would be a different story. See,
Well, I went to
in the
Catholic high
league,
school.
it'd be different.
Christian and Catholic, it's all kind of the same. I went but nobody really did no smack talking.
I would be scared to smack talk you. I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, I don't say too much.
Yeah, but I'm gonna feel it.
People assume that
I'm gonna
most
feel it.
DBs do a lot of talking, but I did not. Not unless you talk to me.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, I don't think you should have done that in my mind. And I'm gonna get you, bro.
All right, coming up next, we're going to talk Tennessee Titans. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Where you at, Shannon?
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Store. 615-737-1045 is the number. I pulled up YouTube clips, and I showed Ross and Blaine. We have a clip from one of the first games we played for the CTF League, is what we called it, CTF.
Oh, my.
And
CTF
I got a fumble. And I have a long rushing touchdown. That was a full length of the field rushing touchdown I showed.
He did look fast on that QB
I did.
power.
And all that speed
was
is
not
gone.
him.
All that. See, this
That was not him. He said he had red hair, and that guy that was running did not have red hair.
It's.
We saw it later in the picture. He said, "That's me," and then you can see clearly red hair.
And see, Blaine says he's not good at smack talk, but all he did was try to disprove that it was not me.
You.
It was me.
It
see,
was
this
no
is
way.
pre.
I wouldn't even build like you.
This is pre-beer phase. See, that's the thing. Once
We
I
never saw his
discovered
face
beer,
at any point in time during
now
this video.
with the fumble, it pop up. And then everybody said, what did they say, Ross?
What
What they say?
had red hair.
He said, Zach's
They
the
say-
man.
Yeah, they
Zach
said
is the man coming up with that fumble. So
Right. But see, here's what you got to also take into account. Who are the people you playing against?
That's
Oh,
right.
there-
We don't
listen,
know the
See, it ain't
competition.
just about like anybody. I can look great out there against some other 50-year-olds.
I will say this: I was still probably the least athletic person out on that field that day. I can guarantee that.
Did Zach play in the plumber era of the CTF
I may
league?
have. I
That
may
was
have.
some unorganized. I want to see some organized, like you on a team and structured coaching. I want to see it. You said you played. That doesn't count as playing.
Well, I played in ninth grade, but I mean, like I said, I mean that did not last long in ninth grade. But I played soccer.
So you got 8th grade?
No, just ninth grade. This though was post 2003 at some point.
Oh man.
They used to keep up stats. I don't know if the website's up. We used to keep stats up and stuff.
stats.
Yep.
See, what would the website be? Since I'm back
I
here
don't
with the
know.
computer.
I don't know. You could look it up. And maybe it was on GeoCities or Angel Fires that long a time ago.
I'm not buying it.
I don't know. I know my friend Robert listens, and maybe he'll text me to see if the website's still up. He was the commissioner of the CTF football league.
Text him and tell him to call in and verify that you were the man.
I did not say I was the man.
I'm just
Well, I mean, just on that play, I was the man.
okay, but I'm talking about you were the man.
And look, everybody's like Blaine smack talking now. See,
It's
See?
easy to smack
It
talk
is.
now that I'm finished. See, see, that's when you do it. Like it's like me sitting on my porch. It's like all the people come around, get in my yard. I'm throwing rocks at them. Get out of my yard. Get out of my yard, man. Yeah. Before I was like, oh, hey, make sure you're careful. You may fall over a rock.
You're a rock thrower now.
Yeah, I'm a rock thrower. Yeah. See how they talk that smack? Because you know why I talk smack? I love talking smack to the smack talker. See, that's the difference. See, man, I said
Yeah.
this before. I like when the players talk smack to me because now you about to get a different version of Blaine Bishop. That Blaine Bishop don't exist. Like if I did that, oh man, I'd be like, hey man, that guy crazy. I have no idea what it takes if somebody come up to you and try to demean you in your face. By a professional athlete, it's you, man. That's personal. It's personal. Now he disrespected you.
There you go.
I just think the craziest part of the whole thing is that you and a bunch of other adults played tackle football with no pads on and no helmets.
It was, looking back on it, not the brightest
Well, it's
of
no different
ideas.
than like playing intramural. All seriousness,
Yeah.
though, it's just like playing intramural, right?
It was-
You played intramural, right?
Yeah, but it's flag
No, but
football.
like-
No.
No, but like intramurals usually flag. Like it's
Yeah.
not full tackle with no pads
Oh,
on.
no.
I mean, we're body slamming and like it's. I mean, banging heads and all that kind of stuff was not smart back in the day. Probably not smart.
You did. Oh, well, Well, I played like that growing up. We called it hot ball. You ever heard of that?
We just call it tackle football.
Yeah, because y'all wouldn't play no real ball. We called it hot ball, and all we do was watch this. Throw it up in the air. Whoever gets the ball runs the furthest to the touchdown, the furthest direction. And then you
sounds
gotta and watch this.
wild.
You gotta find a way
Yeah.
to navigate through all the people.
That sounds kind of like rugby almost
It
as
was.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It used to be right in front of my house.
That's awesome.
My bad, apartment.
In the F&M Bank chat, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook Live, Gibo Gamboa says, "Get the hell out of Blaine's yard, y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't get in that yard."
Yeah, I can sit on my porch now and talk about all my great stories. Yeah. Just like you doing.
There you go. There you go. All right.
That's about the same.
I tell you what's not some great stories is this Tennessee Titans team. See that transition right there?
Dang, boy, you're a professional.
There you go.
Why is Ross looking like that?
Always, president of positivity always got to have a negative spin to it.
I mean, I was pretty positive last
that's what
Friday.
sells.
Yeah,
Man,
that's
you look
only
like you
on
got
Fridays.
your combine shirt, man. What you got on back there?
Some Titans gear.
Oh, okay. I thought it says Titan. Okay.
President of positivity only shows up on Friday. We got to keep it real Monday through Thursday.
Only when you're doing your best bets.
Yeah, which did not go well, by the way.
Oh, I know. And matter of fact, I don't remember you talking about Memphis getting beat either.
I don't want to talk
about
about it. It was bad. It was bad. And the best bets were not good. But we're going to have to rebound. We're going to rebound this week. All right.
Ball say lost.
Today, Jeremy Fowler put out a report that says trade deadline ranking the top 25 players who could be on the move using team intel and stuff that he has heard of ESPN. 3 Titans players made the list: Arden Key, Roger McCreary, and Chig Okonkwo. And they're all players that have been told to him that are on the last year of their contract, obviously, all 3 of these. And they're not part of the franchise's long-term plans, which is very odd to me. I'm not as surprised about Chig and Arden Key as I am about that statement also being labeled to Roger McCreary. Because I feel like after trading Jarvis Brownlee Jr., that extending Roger McCreary would be the prudent move. But it doesn't really feel like that they're going to go that way anyway. It feels like maybe Marcus Harris is the Roger McCreary heir apparent, and they're going to try, or listen to phone calls, however you want to do it, on trading Roger McCreary, who is probably the team's most valuable non-Big Jeff player asset. But I then go back to the Jarvis Brownlee Jr. trade, and I'm like, just try to make their plan make sense, I guess.
I don't think they have a plan, to be honest.
I mean, sometimes it feels that way, doesn't
You
it?
just said Marcus Harris. Marcus Harris has been playing outside the whole entire time.
Right.
So if you want him to be the backup to McCreary, he should be getting reps now, learning now. And so it doesn't even match up. Like, maybe he is going to be. I thought that's what he would be when he got into the league. Watching him on tape from Idaho to Cal Berkeley. Where'd he go?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I just. That just is weird to me. I don't think he's going to be the replacement for McCreary unless they switch him. But see, to me, now you're not pre-planning. Mm-hmm. See, that's horrible design. If you know that that's what you're going to do, he should be getting all the reps and backup right now. Right now. So I don't know what they're planning.
Because we haven't even seen him on defense in these last 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he's played any special teams reps on defense at all. So even when McCreary comes off the field, he's not going in. Maybe McCreary's just playing 100% of snaps, if I've never noticed. But, even when he's going off the field, he's not going in. When L'Jarius Sneed went down, it was Darrell Baker. It wasn't Marcus Harris. But you traded Jarvis Brownlee Jr. So I just whatever's going on at corner.
He's an outside. I think that's
maybe that's what it is. But whatever's going on at corner, I can't make sense.
Yeah, I don't either, man.
I don't think there's a guarantee they bring Sneed back next year either.
Oh, I would
He's
be
our top corner.
Totally surprised if Sneed is back.
Oh, give us the update on his injury.
Today, Mike McCoy said that he'll be out for some time. That's all we got. We didn't get anything other than that. And then Jeff is week to week. Well, welcome back to Coach Speak.
Here's what, man, my comeback player. Dang it, I lost out on that.
I wasn't going to say anything.
You can say something, hey, man.
It's a promo.
Dang it, he can't win. I knew it wouldn't happen.
I think Ross has said to keep that promo rolling for a while, so we can hear that.
That's why I laughed. I know it's not going to happen.
But
that's why I laughed.
There's still going to have to be a lot that goes into this defense because we drafted an edge with the second-round pick who I don't think is still our guy at edge, so they're probably going to need to get somebody in the draft or free agency and shore up that unit as well.
But that's true, but that is their guy.
Yeah.
Well, yes, but we know he's not the guy.
Right, not the guy.
He's their guy, not the guy.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing is like the way that it's just been very confusing because you're creating more holes than necessary. Because you traded away Jarvis Brownlee Jr., there's a hole. if he was the guy that was going to, okay, let's play hypotheticals here. If Marcus Harris in their eyes is an outside guy, and we all kind of thought that maybe Jarvis Brownlee Jr. is an inside guy, why trade him away, then turn around and trade Roger McCreary away? Because you still need, really, without L'Jarius Sneed next year, you still need 3 corners. Because I don't know what Marcus Harris is. We don't know what he is, and right now at least. Now maybe they trade a few people, they start putting him in, and then we figure out what Marcus Harris's role is and vision for the future of him is, and then you only need 2 corners. But as of right now, I'm going into next season thinking, with these rumors at least, because if they're trading him, they're not going to extend him. So he's not going to be on this team regardless next year. So that means they need 3 corners in my eyes. 3 corners, a wide receiver. I mean, like...
That's why I just said they don't have a plan. They're not planning.
Their plan is to do a 4-year rebuild, which is, to me, is utterly ridiculous in today's NFL, because you don't have to do that. Because you have pieces that you could have used for the future to fill holes while you go fill the bigger impact needs. Your bigger impact needs have been wide receiver, edge rusher, and they've done a poor job filling those in free agency and the draft, and they're turning around and trying to turn this into, now we're going to need 3 corners. We may need still need 2 or 3 edge rushers. We still need a wide receiver 1. We need a right guard, unless that's Jackson Slater. We're going to need a running back. Like, there's another tight end, maybe 2. A lot that's got to be done to make this roster even competitive next year.
Okay, with a real good draft, let's say they have 2 firsts and 2 seconds. I'm just we talk about hypothetical. Let's say they got the 2nd pick and they trade it, so they get multiple picks in the 1st round and 2nd round. And with free agents, you think they could do it in a 1 year or 2 year?
I mean, that could help for
they
a
have to hit on them now, by the way.
They'd have to hit on them.
1st, 2nd round.
Yeah.
And
I don't think
3rd.
you maybe go from a 1-17 or 1-16 looking team to a maybe what we thought this year, a 6-win team. And then the next year would be the thing. So you would still be, as of today, 2 more additional seasons until that 2nd season. Because you're probably, even with all those young players that you're infusing this roster with, which is a good thing to do, they're all not going to be ready to lead to winning games that first year, more than likely. Because it's right now, they're building the 7th round and 6th round up, with picks. That's where they're filling things up. Now, maybe Roger McCreary gets you a 4th. Maybe Chig gets you a 6th. Maybe Arden Key gets you another 6, and you can use those to move up into the 5th round or something like that. But still, you're relying on kind of what they are right now, and it's half working, is relying on 4th and 5th rounders to make immediate impacts on your team, and that's not a strategy. That's not a winning, successful, risk-mitigating strategy for a flailing team right now. So I'm just very confused.
Yeah, the pro mentality is kind of just left. Just listen to you what they are doing. Like, you keep attaching players to, previous staffs or GM. That is irrelevant. This isn't recruiting. Like, you fired the coach and then all of a sudden the NFL is built on, if you can play, hey man, it doesn't matter. So I'm a little perplexed on just how they're going about their business. If that is the case, the signs are showing that that's what they're doing, but that doesn't exist in the NFL. They'll play a criminal because he's good, a previous criminal.
Yeah,
is what I'm getting at. So now we're talking about, just because you are attached to another coach or a GM, and you're the starter, and you have holes to fill that are priority over this guy's actual position, and you have no backup plan. Maybe their plan is Womack, because he really hadn't played. I haven't seen him out there. Maybe I missed him. Have you guys seen him out there? The guy?
No, he's been inactive every week.
Yeah,
so why? And first off, why is he still on the final 53? Because he hasn't been moved to practice squad.
I don't even know what he looks like or what number he is.
Can I tell you something real quick?
He's 33.
Does he
I
even
think.
practice?
Oh, I'm sure he's practiced. I don't think he's been injured. Can I tell you something real quick? Of course, Jarvis Brownlee Jr. was traded.
He's doing a good job with the Jets, by the way.
So week 6, he had 30 snaps in the slot.
Yeah, 'cause I said this. We said he was a slot. I
Week
said it the whole
7,
time.
42 snaps in the slot.
Yeah. And he should have been the backup to McCrary. And then now you have a rookie, aggressive natured, who won't be called for holding in the slot because they let you get away with way more. I mean, all this crap, it doesn't make sense to me. You're actually making things worse. And I don't know how long they're going to continue to manipulate Amy. This is blasphemy stuff here, man.
He's had 0 penalties since week 1. He didn't even have any penalties in his week 2 of the Tennessee Titans. Had no penalties. He's got 0 penalties since joining the Jets. It was a mistake to trade Jarvis Brownlee Jr. It will always forever be one of those. Leave a sour taste in my mouth. Because that's not something you can really explain away, other than that wasn't their guy. And to me, again, like what you just said, that's not the way to do business. Now, that's been done a lot at quarterback.
And I wanted you to tell us, your boy Baker, who's a better athlete, looks horrendous out there. Like he looks like, he's a little finesse player. Like, I don't want none of this contact. It ain't like he just covering and blanketing people out there either.
Are you talking about Jalen Armour Davis?
I'm sorry. I said
okay.
Baker. I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure that
Davis, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Davis, the guy that they wanted out there. And they wanted to see who on tape. But you got to make a guy earn it when he's a guy that's been injured
gave it
like
to
him. They gave it to him. And
to me, they gave it to him not only over Jarvis Brownlee Jr., but also over Darrell Baker Jr., who we've seen be good in this system. And that's the thing that drives me nuts, is that we have now 2 players, Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Darrell Baker Jr., who have proved last year that they are pretty good in this system when they were an undrafted free agent last year and only had limited experience. And Jarvis Brownlee Jr. was a 5th-round rookie last year. And when they were called on to start almost every game, they lived up to the expectations of this team. Then you turn around and you trade one and you bump one so far off the depth chart for an undrafted free agent that is not better than him. This is something that has just perplexed me. And this is how much I'm obsessed with football, and to an unhealthy degree, and to the chagrin of my wife. I think about Jarvis Brownlee Jr. being traded every day, like 5 times, at least 5 times a day. I'm just sitting there and I'm just thinking, man, they're stupid for doing that.
Hey, I can tell you one thing: when I walk out the door, I do not think about anything.
I wish I could turn it off. I cannot turn it off.
Nothing. I do not.
I wish I could do it. I cannot turn it off. My brain is constantly thinking about football. It is terrible. I've had to start doing jigsaw puzzles to try to help ease my mind.
You need to try to work for organizations, man.
I need to start
that's a good thing.
Yeah. Because even if I'm doing a jigsaw puzzle, I'm thinking about football and doing all that. When I'm working out or walking the dogs, it's constantly thinking about football. It drains, it overworks my brain. Literally, I get fatigued.
That's how I was as a player.
Yeah.
Boy, hey, man, he can almost kill you, baby.
Yeah.
Slow down, man.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk more about the Tennessee Titans and their perplexing decisions. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 105 The Zone. Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Doors. 615-737-1045 is the number. I've been told that Stoney is in his car on the way here, and he's going to step on the gas because we forgot. QB1 speaks today, Cam Ward at 2:20, so I double booked the show.
He's still QB1?
He's still QB1. He has not been cut. He has not been traded. Then they don't view him as a bust. So
He's a bust. Sure. You
Yeah,
know, think crazier things have happened. I mean,
There
I know when you woke up today, you were worried about that.
I was.
What's going on.
I was actually just thinking about Robert Saleh and what he could do for this Tennessee Titans team. And then I was like, wait a minute. Mike McDaniel gets fired. And you know who's on his staff? Bobby Slowick is on his staff, the former Texans offensive coordinator. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll just bring them both over with Robert Saleh. That's what I'm thinking.
What about the people who said they were losers and that's why they got fired? That's why they shouldn't hire them.
Hey,
you know,
listen,
there's people like that. Like, just because they got fired from another, I mean, they're not good coaches.
I would say there are mitigating circumstances for all those people that why they got fired. And I would say this, the biggest sentiment from what I've heard from the Dolphins, from a few Dolphins people I follow that I respect, is that they should fire the GM, Chris Greer, who's been there for forever and has not been good, and fire the quarterback before they fire the head coach. There's a lot of people there that are big
Fire
fans
the quarterback?
Yeah.
You mean,
we cut him or trade him, but, you know.
Now, who do you think would trade for? All right, what's this? Kyler Murray for Tua?
I don't know if anybody's going to trade for Tua. I mean, have you seen his press conferences? I don't know how much that weighs on coaches and stuff, but his press conferences have been wild this year.
Oh, my gosh.
They have been wild.
Remember, I told you they should not have gave that dude that money.
Oh, my gosh.
I say, yeah, 50?
Yeah.
No way. He's a $30 million quarterback
After all
in this
those
era.
concussions,
of football.
too.
Yeah.
He's
I know that Mike McDaniel really loved him, and he did get the best out of Tua at a point in time, but those injuries and concussions, oof. It's just mounted.
That's why you don't do that.
Yep. I agree.
He may be blaming the concussions on his press conferences now.
Yep.
From 2 years ago.
Speaking of press conferences, let's hear from Mike McCoy today. And he spoke to the media before practice. You know, last week was after practice. There were a few interesting things. It wasn't all coach speak. Well, I know that's been a big gripe of Mike McCoy's press conferences by the media and fans. I just told people, I was like, do y'all just not remember Mike Vrabel's press conferences? Or have you been just so enamored with Brian Callahan that you've totally forgotten this is how every coach in the NFL speaks? Like, dust off your Vrabelese and listen, get you some Mike McCoy in you.
Oh, but I mean, Vrabel has turned a new leaf now. All of a sudden, everybody's in harmony. And I was like,
there's a clip floating around where he's telling his defensive line to tip the ball. When the Patriots are down 10-3 to tip the ball, he's going down the defensive bench and saying, tip the ball, and everybody's like, yikes, can't believe he's saying that. That means he knows about Cam Ward. I was like, well, first off, it's his job to know that. Second off, he's always taught his defenses to put their hands up.
Yeah,
this ain't anything. It's like, I mean, it's not technically an indictment about Cam Ward, but also every defensive coordinator probably knows that he's got a penchant for his balls to be tipped because guess what? We all saw it and we all know it.
Did they give any tips?
Nope. I mean, again, like, guys, this isn't rocket. I mean, coaching can be rocket science, but that particular thing is not hard. That's not some big indictment of Cam Ward. No. People are just kind of wild out in these streets right now. All right. But speaking of Cam Ward, Mike McCoy today talked about how much are Cam's eyes and footworks contributors to what people see as accuracy issues?
A combination of all those, to be honest with you. There's certain throws you look at through the entire season, and I made this point to him yesterday, you can't miss those throws. Those are the ones you have to hit at this level. Okay, then there's going to be tight window throws, or there's going to, we all see a wide open receiver right on the middle field. But now all of a sudden there's 300-something pound in his face, and you miss it. So there's those things too. Or we don't always see. There was a play in the game the other day that there's a wide open receiver, but he couldn't see him because of the push of the pocket, and someone might be standing directly. So that stuff happens. And then there are times, like you mentioned, about the footwork. To me, that's one thing I've been on him from day one is it all starts with your feet. So get your feet going the right way, and trust me, there's going to be times where he has to move and your feet aren't going to be set and you're moving around. So really to go back, that's a long-winded answer, but it's kind of a combination of all the things you mentioned.
Which all makes sense, right? I mean, like it all makes sense, and something that he's trying to recognize and fix, not necessarily to a degree where you're trying to break everything down and build him from the top up. He's trying to do it within the framework of who Cam Ward is, and that's what you want to hear.
I think he was right on point. I actually don't think they can fix that during the season.
I don't think he can either.
That's something you got to work on in the offseason. Now that he's played in games, you can see it. I think to really get to where you want him to get to, that's what you have to do. I mean, you could do it in small steps during the season, but I think that's something you got to work on.
And isn't that for pretty much almost any player, too? Like, there's only so much you can fix in the season because you also got to work on the game plan and the stuff within the game plan. And today's practice setup with the NFLPA's negotiated, it's really hard to cram everything into that. Like, that's stuff that he can work on in his own time, too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of this stuff, the reason why you see second-year leaps is because of what they do at the end of February to the start of August.
Yeah, I think they could do some fundamental things in individual, maybe that makes them start working on those things. But, you can't simulate a live action game, and that's where things happen. That's why everybody's getting all out of wits over practice. I'm like, hey, man, practice is what they, but when the lights click on, some dudes just got it. I mean, it's just that way. And so you see that he's got some potential here and shows flashes of really greatness at times. And then at times you see, he's still, he's a youngster. So just got to work on some of the fundamentals. That's one thing, I've said that before. Is that that's one thing you can't, you should just always get to fundamentals. You can never overcoach that part of it. Coaches do a lot of overcoaching, but fundamentals is not one of them.
Yep. I love this answer that's coming up next. He was asked about, Brian Callahan and them talked about Cam trying to take the easy passes and, pressing, playing hero ball and all that kind of stuff. And Mike McCoy had a kind of a different take in my mind, just a tad bit, but a different take in philosophy on Cam being a big game hunter and how much freedom he has to take shots versus take what's given to him.
I like completions. Completions. If you throw it deep, complete it. If you take a shot, take it. But if it's not there, do the next best thing. Because there's plays that are designed that you want to take that shot, you want to be aggressive, but I think he's learning that it's a lot easier to play the game in second and short and third and short than it is in second or third and long. So and then I think as you get experience too, it's where is it in the game? What's the score of the game? What's the field position? There's so many other factors that come into it. And it's like, if the downfield throws there, we want you to be aggressive and take it. But when in doubt, look what happens when we check the ball down underneath this year. What happens? More often than not, our skilled players make the first guy miss. So if that's a learning thing for him also, going back with experience of when to take those shots and when not. And the most important thing for me with him is just trust the system and go through a progression. If the downfield throws the first part of the progression, no problem. That's what your coach to do. It's just don't make things up and chase plays. Don't just make the plays that are there. Don't chase plays because he's going to make a ton of plays. Because I'll say this, the one ball early on that he's rolling right earlier in the year, throws the ball all the way back across the field to Ellick, that's not coached. That's just a player making a play. And that's what players need to do. They need to go out there and go make plays. That's what the game's all about. So he's going to make a lot of great plays like that. And that's just him, natural talent going out there playing the game. So that's a great example of him throwing the ball downfield and making it happen. So you don't want to take the aggression away from the player, but you also always want to make sure that we're trusting the system, going through a progression, and just, learning that second short, third and short is a lot easier than long down.
Are you seeing progress when you work with him during the week on taking what's there when you feel like it needs to be taken?
Yeah, I think, and that's one thing we've talked about as a staff too, is take things away from him in practice. Early on, you try to say, okay, hey, let's get going. Let's show him progressions and things like that. But then it might be in a walkthrough. Okay, just take this play away so that he does check it down. And I think he has done a better job with that.
I think he showed a better job at doing that this past Sunday for sure.
Well, I just think it was the play designs that they had in the plan, really, initially. I don't know. If
And
it was more so
executing
that-
it.
I mean, when you roll out, it's a boot. I mean, he's got to hit those guys. So
Yeah.
I just here's what I hear when I hear this by McCoy and said he's told him this before. That means before he became the head coach. So I think he needs to realize how to be a controlled gunslinger. And I keep saying that term. He keeps saying he's a gunslinger. No, controlled gunslinger. So what that's saying is you're disciplined, but it may come across as though you're a gunslinger. So that what he's saying is you need to go through progression reads and then hit the right guy.
Yep.
Whether it starts from high to low, from deep or to short to deep. And he's having issues with it because he still thinks he can do some of the crazy stuff he did in college against way better players.
He got away with one. That one where I saw the overview, all 22 of it, and I was like, how'd that ball even get there?
Yeah.
Like
that's where the Dan Orlovsky stuff comes into play, where he's just like, oh my God, because Dan Orlovsky be like, there's no way I would have thrown that ball.
yeah, there's no way he probably could have even got it there.
Right. And I'm sure even some Hall of Fame type players like, ooh, that one there was a tough one. Like I don't know if I would have thrown that. So he's learning on the fly of what he can get away with.
Growing.
He's growing, man. So we got to just pump the brakes. And I think the illusion that we had the first pick and that he was just going to transform the whole organization in one season was unrealistic.
Yeah.
So I just think there's a competitive nature in him. And I've said this a long time ago that I really love, but it can defeat you if you let it take control of you at the quarterback position. And I think that's what it is now. He feels like he can make it happen. And if once you start doing that, it may work sometime, but the majority of the time, it's not going to work.
Yep.
Unless you be disciplined. So I think that's what he's fighting through, and he's fighting with himself really through this part. I mean, and he's figuring it out as we go. But I think he can do it. And we may have something really special here. Here we look down here in a year or two, and we go like, dang, man, that guy has grown so much. So, and I think he's that kind of competitor. So it also can help him because he's going to go put in the work.
Yep.
This guy loves to put in the work, and he loves ball. So that's the part you got to think about. It's hard.
That's why I think
everybody
a
wants him to
second-year
win.
leap is going to be pretty spot on.
Well, it depends on who the coach is.
That's true. That's
and
true.
who's coaching him,
Yep.
by the way, not just the head coach.
Right.
But who's coaching him.
All right, coming up next, we'll talk more Tennessee Titans. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons right here, 104.5 The Zone.
Parents, when your teen athlete gets injured, every practice missed matters. So don't let an injury sideline you for the season or even your dreams. Introducing the Edge Athletic Recovery Program, a 2-month, twice daily sublingual peptide protocol designed to help your athlete heal faster, recover stronger, and get back on the field safely. Our science-backed peptides BPC 157 and TB 500 support muscle, tendon, and ligament repair with no needles, no downtime, and no hassle. Safe for teens, non-GMO, gluten-free, and easy to take at home. Optional add-ons include M-Scope functional sessions and regenerative orthopedic treatments to accelerate recovery even more. So don't wait. Give your athlete the best shot at a full return to the sport and call Edge Peptide Therapy at 615-724-1878. Or you can visit them on edgepeptide.com online and, also get a consultation during the time when you give them a call at 724-1878. Edge Peptide Therapy knows every game, every practice, and every dream matters.
Smashville hockey. Around here, it can sound like a language of its own. But hey, if you can pronounce Demumbrian, then names like Yossi, Shea, Marchessault will roll right off the tongue. Nashville Predators, only in Smashville.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. We'll have Stoney coming in here in just a few minutes, I believe. I think he's getting off the highway.
He's going to give us 5 minutes?
Well, Cam Ward probably won't talk the full 220. So, I mean, we should get some time. Stoney will stay for the rest of the show, and we could talk to him. But, you know, we were talking about...
there he is.
There he is. Look at that.
I saw the Grizzly, the beard.
He made it in.
Did you get a speeding ticket? I called all my friends and told them don't stop you.
No. I made it, though.
He made it. So we got Stoney Keeley in
you act
studio.
like you were out of breath. Were you?
I haven't moved that quick in a while.
Oh, okay.
It's been a minute.
Are you Zeitler or Skoronski?
I'm Zeitler right now. I'm gassed. Yeah, I've been recovering from a medical situation for the last month.
You up and running around, man.
I'm not. I'm like I need to catch my breath for a little bit.
Well, no time to catch your breath. So
I didn't know a Kia Forte could go that fast. I just stepped on the gas. I thought the wheels were about to come off the ground. Yeah. Used all 4 of them, too.
So we were going to talk about the offensive line, Stoney. Obviously, is Zeitler the worst player on the offensive line currently?
Yeah, I think so. He seems to really be struggling with movement in front of him.
Kind of like you right now.
Like picking up the guys crossing inside. He's a little slow to react to that. They pulled him a couple of times. They got him out in space at the second level, and it felt like he just couldn't really connect on those blocks. So it really seems like he's the weak link right now, and I didn't think I'd be saying that here in October.
But the offensive line itself has been all right.
Yeah.
I mean, for the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Now, it's not against, the Rams and the Broncos of the world, but, I mean, it's been getting better.
I would agree. And I think specifically Dan Moore Jr. and J.C. Latham deserve some credit in the pass protection. I thought the pass protection was pretty good on Sunday, pretty solid. And specifically Moore, like being able to get out in space, meet the rushers, initiate contact and kind of stall the rush a little bit. I think he's really kind of picked up the pace in that regard as well. And J.C. Latham still coming off the injury. I don't know where you guys stand. I'm not ready to move him inside to guard. I think we need to see him get healthy a little bit. I know that's a popular theory right now, but I thought he played pretty well against Harold Landry on Sunday.
Except for that dip rip underneath around the edge.
Yeah, that'll do it every once in a while.
You're not going to win them all. I mean,
no.
That's no perfect player out there. But so you think that they're improving in pass protection or run block?
Pass protection. The run blocking, I don't know, Blaine. Like it feels like something wasn't really clicking that well. And I don't know, Zach, if you have the numbers off the top of your head, but they stopped using so much motion in the run game against the Patriots, and it felt like they started working in a little more zone stuff. So you think about the simplification of the run game. Like some of these gap runs they were doing where they're like moving the tight end across the formation and pulling a guard, and so-and-so is supposed to open up this hole, so-and-so is supposed to open up that hole. There's a lot of moving parts that get into it. Whereas with the zone runs, it feels like you just get everybody moving in the same direction. And the read comes from the running back off of that, when to cut back. So I don't know if that's something that improved it, but I do feel like they were able to run the ball at a bit better of a clip. Talking about per rush, and they just got away from it in that game against the Patriots. So I don't know if you'd call it simplification of the run game necessarily, maybe just pulling different runs out of the playbook and running them, but I do feel like they were able to get something going, and that is an area that I do think they improved incrementally as an offensive line in this game.
Well, some people say they had to abandon in the second half, the running game, that is.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on what would you have done once they got behind? How much would you still kind of ran the football to keep the defense honest?
I mean, I felt like you were having some success running with Tyjae Spears. I mean, he was ripping off a couple of chunk yards.
You only have so many possessions now.
Yeah,
that's once you got behind.
That's true, but I think if the way I looked at it is they were very quick to pivot. They were very quick to say, this isn't working. We got to start airing it out, throwing it around the ball to catch up. And when you do that against a coach like Mike Vrabel, you're playing into exactly what he wants to do. I felt like in that second half,
they kind of backed off a little bit. I felt like they were routinely rushing 4 and dropping everybody else into coverage, clogging up the throwing lanes because they knew, well, they're going to try and throw the ball, so let's take away any windows for Cam Ward. And it really muddied the offense up for the Titans, and they just didn't go back to the run at all. And I feel like I get the vision for that. I think yesterday you used the analogy of shooting threes. Like you get down and people start shooting threes. If you start connecting some of those, it's a different story. But they weren't connecting on them. And I felt like you saw them have success with some chunk runs. You should have mixed a little more in there. I feel like they were just a little too quick to, I don't know if panic is the right word. They were way too quick to pivot and just completely abandon the run.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So what is your analysis of Cam Ward through these so many games here where we're at now? And we're at 7 games or so, but what is your analysis of Mr. Cam?
Well, I don't think he's a bust. What? I think the improvement has been incremental, but and I don't know if this is just from like staying off Twitter for a few days, focusing on work and stuff, but like the narrative on Twitter is the sky is falling, and I have a completely different outlook on Cam Ward after that Patriots game. And we sat here on Titans Talk back on Sunday, and we were both kind of like, and he looked pretty decent in that game, minus the fumble issue. I don't want to excuse that away, and I think there are some problems with the tight window throws whenever he starts to feel a little antsy, a little pressure coming, something like that. But by and large, I feel like things are starting to slow down for him a little bit, and we're seeing some of the things that he was known for. I thought he used his legs a little more to extend the play, not necessarily to run, take off, move the chains or anything like that. But I felt like he kind of moved around in the pocket a little bit better. He was looking to find the open guy, not just like throwing the ball down the field. It felt like he had a couple of really good strikes. A couple of those throws to Chimere Dike were pretty good. I felt like it's kind of a case where we have to remind ourselves that he's still a rookie, and everybody wanted Jaden Daniels, but there's not a Jaden Daniels every year. And for a guy like Cam Ward, I think it's just, okay, he's not going to set the league on fire his rookie season, but there's still plenty of promise there, and he seems to be getting more and more comfortable each week. Maybe not better, maybe that's not the right word necessarily, but he seems to be getting more comfortable, and things seem to be slowing down for him a little bit more each week.
Before this game, the way you stated that earlier in that statement, were you having the same thoughts after the Raiders game?
I was, if you got me in the moment when we were in the studio watching the Raiders game, I was starting to get a little worried. I was like, oh boy, are we going to start having to have this conversation? I was at a point after the Raiders game where I was like, okay, we might be a little further away than I thought we were going to be with Cam Ward. But then I thought he rebounded pretty nicely, especially in the first half of that game against the Patriots. And I came away from it saying, all right, you know what? He's got the mental makeup. He's got that competitive mindset. It's a trait you like, and it's a trait that you hope can carry him through improvement.
How would you coach, real quick, just one more, how would you coach Cam? This is 2 games in a row, just trying to bring the human element to it on his fumbles.
I don't know. I mean, Blaine, there's a reason I'm sitting in front of the microphone and not on the sidelines each week.
Me too.
But, I think it's a difficult issue because it feels like everybody knows that's not acceptable. But I don't know how easy it is to just correct that. Is it just a matter of saying, well, grip the ball tight? Because there are quarterback gurus out there that say, well, if you try to grip the ball too tight, it's going to slip out. So is it a case of just calming him down? I think that would typically be my approach, is just like, hey, you know this is not acceptable. We know this is not acceptable. It's going to cost the team games if it doesn't get corrected. This isn't you. Just flow with it a little more, maybe, like just settle down a little bit out there and maybe stop. Don't push it so much, I think, is about the only message I could give him. I don't know.
Maybe you just put baby oil on it and have him run around until he doesn't drop it.
That's what you do. It's like Rocky chasing the chicken. Yeah. You just put a bunch of baby oil on that ball, you throw it down the stairwell and let him go. Yeah.
I used to drink those eggs in the morning, too.
Whew, man, I did that once upon a time.
Oh, you did?
Once upon a time.
It didn't work for you.
I did it once. I did it once.
Oh, I did it all the time.
All right, coming up next, we'll take a pause in the conversation and listen to quarterback one, Cam Ward, in his press conference, where I'm sure he'll be asked about the fumbling. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
Let me get some eggs. Let's talk insurance. King and Associates Insurance. They're independent agent, and that's a big difference. But it goes beyond just having multiple companies to shop, weeding out the non-competitive companies, keeping great relationships with the biggest and the best, along with bundling. But unfortunately, life happens, and they get it. So here's a true story about my friend and coworker that switched from a previous independent agent and got better coverage on his home and its contents and even his automobiles with flawless communication and a true champion in his corner, especially after a 16-year-old daughter's accident, and they saved them thousands. And I'm talking about dollars and thousands from an independent agent who was overcharging him for years. Are you getting overcharged as well? You can make the switch and save the same, if not more. But don't make the switch because he did. Switch because you should. As a business, family, or an individual, make the switch to King and Associates Insurance, because I'm sure you could stand for a little extra cash flow in the pocket. And if you want the extra cash, just give them a call at 615-321-8121. That's 321-8121, or online at tkinginsurance.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. 615-737-1045 is the number. We're waiting on QB1 to hit the podium, but among those not spotted at Wednesday's Titans practice, according to Jim Wyatt.
Oh, this means they're on the trade block.
Yep, Calvin Ridley, Jeffrey Simmons, L'Jarius Sneed, Tony Pollard, Kevin Zeitler, Johnny Hecker, Jihad Ward, Blake Hance, and Bryce Oliver, all missing or not spotted at the open portion of Wednesday's Titans practice so far.
So they weren't even on the field?
So they weren't even on the field. Not even stretching, not even walking through.
Tradable assets. That's all I heard.
Now, Stoney, I would do a disservice because there's other topics we want to get to. But if I don't remember to tell you to ask it now, we'll both forget. You had a question to ask for Blaine specifically.
Oh, yeah. No, ask me? So you guys try to set me up.
I was going to ask him off the air because it's not Titans related, but we'll go for it now that we're here. I could use your help learning to evaluate safeties. I'm watching a guy right now, Caleb Downs, Ohio State safety. Really fluid athlete, rangy guy, can cover, do a little bit of everything. Yeah. There's one thing I can't get over, and I wanted your opinion on it. It seems like he's always tackling guys by the shoestrings. And I'm curious if that's something I'm getting hung up on or if that should be a concern. Like, don't you like to see a safety just run through somebody every once in a while? And it feels like consistently he's getting to the point of the tackle and the guy's just getting a step on him and he's just lunging for those feet, lunging for those shoestrings. And I don't know if that's a fair criticism on my part or if I'm just being, kind of old school, wanting him to really lay into a guy.
That's kind of interesting. You say, I mean, how often, out of his tackles, give me a percentage. I've watched him at Alabama, and I think he's unique because how many safeties do you see returning punts? The game, I even went to a game that saw him, he returned a punt for a touchdown. They benched the other punt returner because he dropped the ball multiple times, and he gets it, as soon as he gets it, natural, fluid runner. When he gets interceptions, I've watched him at high school. He went to North Gwinnett High School, he went to Mill Creek in Georgia. Dude's a fascinating athlete. His brother is Downs with the Colts. That's his brother. That's his older brother. And his dad played for the Cowboys at safety, Michael Downs. That's his dad.
It's a pedigree.
So the pedigree is there. So it's kind of hard for me to I don't know. Maybe he shoots I call it shoot the wide. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
Maybe he does that a little more often than he should. Maybe in the if he's doing it in the open field, I don't have a real big issue on it.
Okay. I feel like it's outside runs where he's coming from the backfield, coming up to make a play. And that's why I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'm being too hard on him for this.
You got to find something because there's no perfect prospect.
Yeah.
He is the number one safety without a doubt. But I think you got to have something, and they're going to all have something to say about him. I mean, he's not perfect by any means, but he's a heck of a player. I think he's multifaceted, multi-talented. He can guard, he can tackle, he can play deep middle. There's nothing really he can't do that he's not really good at. Now, is he great at everything? No, but he's really good, solid player. The worst he would be is probably in the league hooker. That's just since we know hooker. He probably that's the lowest he will go.
I think he could probably play in the slot, play a little nickel.
Yeah, he may be able to. He always surprises me in that I feel like he's not as athletic as I want to give him credit for, but then I'll see him do some things and I go, dang, man, maybe he is.
He can move.
Yeah.
He can move.
And I've even watched him train as a trainer in Atlanta that trains all the big-time dudes that are from Atlanta because that's where he's from, and watch him, and he just says, hey, Blaine, this is the best dude I've ever, and he's covered the corners that played for the Falcons that went to Clemson, the Terrell guy, to Downs, and I went and watched him work, and I was like, he probably is that guy.
He's a dude.
Yeah, he definitely. So, I mean, you can get hung up on it a little bit, but, hey, he's still getting him down.
Yeah, well, hey, there's your Caleb Downs evaluation.
Yeah, look at right here. Did a little draft talk right here. Yeah, now, when he said that there's no perfect prospect, your ears perked up. What were you going to ask? Were you going to ask something?
No, I think that's a great point. There's I think so often when we're evaluating these guys, we're wanting to find blue chip guys, and we're like, somebody's got to be at the top of this class. And I think the instinct is to say who is the most perfect prospect. But I think Blaine's right. There is no perfect prospect. Yeah. Everybody's going to have something.
Yeah, even if you're the high draft pick. I mean, it's just we could look at all the past pass rushers or.
I mean, how many times did we think
quarterbacks.
Travis Hunter was this kind of prospect?
phenomenal athlete.
But then we're also picking apart. Well, maybe he needs to start out wide receiver in that corner. Then other guys would say corner, not wide receiver. That means he's not the perfect prospect.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
That's why it makes it so difficult to, analyze these guys and, hit 100. Like, what is the bar for you guys for GMs? This was always a big issue for me is what is the bar for, like, how much out of 100% should they be hitting as a GM in the National Football League on their prospects and their drafts? And does it matter if you're a top 3 round and then does the later rounds you evaluate a little bit differently? How would you kind of couch that? Because the way we have to analyze a GM and how good they are, we can go, let's use John Robinson. Well, he did the Tannehill trade. That was an evaluation, but that saved the organization, by the way. So that's a great hit, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but then he trades A.J. Brown. So does that level off and say, you batting 50 now? Or does one weigh more than the other because it was a quarterback?
I tend to lean like if you're above 500, you're doing pretty good. Even if that's like 55, because you're right, things balance out over time so much because you also have like the DeMarco Murray trade was a pretty good move by John Robinson. Yeah. So how do these things factor up? I think if you're winning more often than you're losing, and I don't mean literally on the field, but like in your personnel decisions, I think you're doing pretty good. I think the best GMs are the guys that get the first round draft picks right. Not everybody is going to be like a generational franchise changer.
Because even Howie got Jalen Reagor wrong, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Howie has his fair shares of first round
That's
misses.
the number one guy right now with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Right. So you get your first round picks right, and then if you can build depth on day 3, like developmental contributors that eventually see the field and contribute pretty regularly, I think you're doing pretty good if that's the case.
Yeah, I would view it kind of like I view betting because it is you're betting on stuff that may be out of your control, right? I mean, you can't control if a guy that you signed gets injured and then you never see from it again. You never see that guy. Or you trade for Ryan Tannehill. Like when you traded a 4th round pick for Ryan Tannehill, they didn't expect for him to really be what he was in 2019 and 2020, right? Like you overshot it. So for me, it's like if you're around 60% or higher, I think you're an elite GM, specifically for the draft, in my mind. If you're above 50% in the draft, then I think that's your above average GM. The problem was with John Robinson that he was batting like 20% those last 3 years combined. And that's untenable. And that's why we're now talking, or even earlier, we were talking like, this whole Roger McCreary trade idea doesn't make a lot of sense because you're going to need 3 corners next year because you don't know what Marcus Harris is right now, at least.
Hey, how about this? You trade Roger McCreary, you draft Caleb Downs.
There you go. And you still need an edge rusher and you still need a wide receiver.
Yeah, like, that's a bad plan. Let's scrap that.
And so, like, to me, it's this like, you got it. To your point, regardless of who drafts them, if you got good players, you should be looking to keep them.
Right.
Because they did say draft, develop, retain, and that's beginning to seem like that philosophy is only used on the players that they draft.
Their guys.
The players that they develop, and the players that they want to retain off the players that they drafted. And I don't think that's, to your point, and you said this earlier, Blaine, I don't know if you were listening back when he said it, but like, that's a bad strategy. And I am just I told him I think about the Jarvis Brownlee Jr. trade.
I did hear that, and I'm with you. Yeah.
See, he's like me.
Both of you guys are sickos.
Yeah. Yes. I wake up in the morning and I reach for my phone, and my wife's like, "You're going to text Zach before you even say good morning to me." And I'm like,
man. So how's that couch feeling?
I got a comfy couch, I will say. But I'm like,
see,
babe,
that's the key. You get a comfy couch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on my couch. It's pretty comfy, too.
I'm like, babe, Zach has figured out Bobby Slowick's down on Miami staff with Mike McDaniel. So, if we can get Robert Saleh in here, and she's just looking at me like,
oh, man. Well, speaking of that, who's your number one prospect? Hearing from you, I don't know.
You guys ruined me.
For the coach, for the head coach.
The head coach, yeah. You guys ruined me on Brian Flores because I was really in on him, and then you're like, no, he's suing the NFL. I'm like, damn.
But he's still coaching in the NFL. So it may not matter. Watch this. Desperate times, desperate matters.
I mean, hey, I think he he's a good candidate, but I think you're right. I think he's maybe untouchable in that regard. I'm really coming around on the idea of Robert Saleh. Going back and kind of reading some stuff, I don't know where I got the idea that he had lost the locker room in New York, but that wasn't the case at all. I mean, he kind of had a crummy roster to work with and a really bad quarterback situation. And it sounds like the expectation in San Francisco is that he's not going to be there for long as DC, that teams will be interested in him. So I think if you can bring a guy like that in, not necessarily like rule with an iron fist type, but I feel like he is a little more serious. And if you can get that coordinator hire right to get the offense coming along, man, I think it could be a good thing. I'm not out on Cliff Kingsbury either. I still think that he kind of developed a bad reputation for the way things went south in Arizona. Sounded like it had a lot to do with his relationship with Kyler Murray. And there have been some questions about Kyler Murray's leadership and maturity issues. So I think about what he was able to do with Murray in that offense, and I do think it was pretty impressive. So I'd be willing to give him another shot.
One question on that, just to piggyback on that, hiring a coach, do you think some of these veterans, let's just use Saleh, if he comes in and wants a little more autonomy and control, will that hurt? And then will that reputation be out there and put the Titans where they have to go with another young head coach?
Man, that's a great question. I haven't
because
even
I'm afraid
thought
that's
about
probably going to happen to a certain extent with guys who been there, done that. I mean, it's just this their second go round. They want to make sure they don't miss, and they're going to cover every avenue that they didn't the first time.
Especially maybe Saleh, who had a meddlesome ownership group with kids playing Madden and,
so he
and
may
telling
be,
them who they can and can't trade
picky.
for. And
He may be picky, be like, I can still stay right here and be the DC till the next coaching cycle.
Yeah, so we're talking about like giving him insight into the personnel decisions, stuff like that. I don't know. There's a couple of guys I might be willing to say, hey, maybe we can work something out here. Because I see like what he's doing with that 49ers defense right now is pretty fun to watch. And so you think, well, if we can get that, maybe we entertain it. I might be inclined to let Saleh do his thing a little bit, give him a little more presence.
Now, do you think Brinker?
I don't think so. I think they want a clear division of work in that building.
Of power structure.
Yeah. Because otherwise you're getting back into something that they've struggled with for the last couple of years, is like, who's really calling the shots here? And I think they want to get away from that. I think they would be smart to get away from that for a little bit, but I don't know.
real quick, the run defense from Sunday.
Yeah.
You wrote over at StackInTheInbox.com a big, long
I was
article.
on one.
You were on
I was
one.
mad watching the tape.
You were mad watching the tape. What did you see from the run defense?
Yeah, it seemed like they just struggled to keep their powder dry a little bit. You can go back and watch that opening drive, and you see a play where Cody Barton runs up to the line of scrimmage where he's in a gap, and then the back moves a certain way, and he moves inside. Well, when he moves inside, the back sees that and cuts outside. And the next thing you know, this back is where Cody Barton should have been, where he was, but ain't nobody there right now, and it goes for an 8-yard run. There's a similar play where guys get kind of crossed up, and it looks like L'Jarius Sneed is out on the edge. And when the run goes inside, he moves inside too, and then the guy bounces outside. And when he bounces outside, there's nobody at the edge to stop him. There's another 8-yard run. And it felt like over and over, the Titans were, I don't know if it's a question of discipline, because I don't have a defensive playbook. I don't know what the calls are, who's responsible for what, whose assignment is where, that sort of thing. I only know the outcome on the tape, and it looks like guys are maybe trying to make the big play, like overcompensating, maybe playing a little too aggressive instead of just kind of holding steady, staying in their gap, doing their job kind of thing. Basic principles of run defense. It's a math game, right? So you have to think of like the space between every offensive player at the line of scrimmage as a potential gap, as a potential run lane. And you get your run fits based off of that. So there is discipline involved. But other than that, like, it's a math game. It's a numbers game. And the Patriots were doing a good job of shifting tight ends from one side of the formation to the other. And when you do that, that gap goes from the left side to the right side. But if you don't adjust as a defense, well, then the Patriots can block it up exactly as they want it. That happened on a couple of plays too. It just so happened one of them, Cedric Gray, made a hell of a play, beat his block, got in the gap, blew it up. Would have been a touchdown if not for that. So it could have been even worse than it was on Sunday. But like I said, I don't know if the issue is the way things are taught, if it's an overly aggressive mindset, if guys are hunting big plays, trying to blow up the run, or if it's a question of discipline and just, staying in your gap, staying in your spot, sticking with your assignment, doing your job. But it's something that I feel like Mike Vrabel just laid the blueprint. Like, you want to get these guys out of whack, out of sync, shift some tight ends around, put a lead blocker out there, fullback, move these gaps around, and they're not really responding to it that well. I think it's an incredibly concerning aspect of this team right now is the run defense.
Is that what you saw from the Commanders last year? Something similar, because they gave a blueprint too, because the Jaguars kind of did the same thing the Commanders did just a few weeks later.
I'd have to go back and review my game notes from that, but gut feeling was, it was guys just getting a little sloppy.
What are your feelings on the run defense, Blaine?
Well, I think it's unfair. Oh, I'm sorry. It's unfair, like, to just kind of inflate one game.
Yeah.
Now, it can be problematic after multiple games like that. You're going to have games where you just got outplayed, outcoached. To me, all those things are coachable. So that's not a big concern of mine. And we're talking about one game. So far this season, I think the defense has played fairly well. And there have been games. So this game was the only game that I could say, this is the first time I said defense didn't play well.
Yeah.
They didn't play well. All up from top to bottom, all the way around. They ran the ball. They could throw the ball. They could do whatever they wanted to do. But if you go back and watch 2024 versus the Patriots, had nothing to do with Vrabel. They did the same freaking crap.
Yeah.
In a different way. So it's not just about Vrabel. See? So let's kind of magnetize. Now, so I don't, the NFL is built on the best versus the best. And if you don't bring your best on that day, you can get eaten alive by just the average player. Yeah. Sometimes you just don't have it. You may be too tired. You may be playing with an injury that you're just trying to fight through it. J.C. Latham. So you're just maybe not going to have your best. So in a vacuum, I would say it's not that concerning until I see this done back to back. And it's going to be a 3-game window here. Everybody's going to watch and see what they did, and they're going to do the same thing. We're going to see what their adjustment is to that run play. So I was a little miffed by that, though. I was a little surprised. Now, one thing about I had Zach look up, but we haven't had a chance to talk about it, is that red zone play where Cody Barton changed the call to cover 2. Did you watch 2024?
I didn't. Well, I did.
In the red zone. When he threw that spectacular play, it took 7 seconds or whatever. Drake made.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Go back and watch that play.
Okay, I will.
They went to cover 2 then.
I wondered what you were having me look it up for.
But the difference was it was an adjustment. They called cover 2 on that play. And guess why? When they called cover 2, guess who they had dropped in the middle? Sebastian Joseph Day.
Oh.
Guess what? When they checked it this time, nobody dropped.
Oh.
See, that's the only difference. Now, the play isn't exactly the same as far as the formation, but they were in no backs. So that's how Josh McDaniels got this play. He saw what would work, because what they did that time, even though he wasn't there.
Yeah.
What he should have said, we're going to do this, but we're going to do it differently. We're going to put guys in different spots, and we're going to hit them, and this is how we're going to get it done.
You know what's interesting that you brought that up? Ross, what did you ask me yesterday?
Well, they had a blitz scheme last year that they always use in the red zone that I swear had a 100% hit rate, where they would stack like 6 at the line and drop Jeff and Tavondre out. They'd send Roger off the edge, and it always worked. I've yet to see them run that once this year. I know Jeff and Sweat have missed some time, I guess, but They haven't ran that scheme once, and it would always put people in conflict.
It's interesting you just brought that up, though, because we were talking about that yesterday about how the defensive linemen used to drop back and fill up those passing lanes.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm going to have to go back and pull up this play.
And so when you see that, that's the same coordinator.
Yeah.
He was there last year, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it shows you what an adjustment alert call of cover two to a design called cover two from the sideline. And you see, that's the difference. And so they had him drop, where this one, he just rushed. I mean, they just rushed. I don't recall anybody dropping.
No, they didn't.
I was asking. So, so that was the difference. So, you got out-coached.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying. Like, I don't have the defensive playbook, so you don't know what the calls are supposed to be, what the assignments are supposed to be, but something doesn't look right.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like that's happening, or it happened Sunday on several plays. But to your point, you said earlier, like this being one game, like there was a game a couple of weeks ago, I can't remember it off the top of my head, where like
the Raiders,
it did feel like they were,
or Arizona.
It might have been Arizona, where it did feel like they were defending the run as a team pretty well. Everybody they were taking the gaps away. Arizona wanting to run the ball, wasn't really able to, except for that one, the DeMarcado fumble.
I don't want to talk about it.
The Raiders, Genty didn't do too well, did he? I don't remember him.
No, they held him to like 70 yards, 60 yards, something like that. Yeah. So, I mean, to that point, like, don't overreact to one game, but the reason it concerns me
for the next 2 or 3 games.
That's what I'm saying. That's what concerns, because you got Indianapolis on Sunday.
They just went up and down the field against the Titans here.
Man,
it was unbelievable.
The way they're running the ball, they're doing anything they want on offense right now.
Against anybody.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like, was that the blueprint for how to attack this Titans defense? So I'm really eager to see how they do on Sunday.
All right, coming up next, we're going to maybe hear from Cam Ward. We'll see if he's up at the podium. This is Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone.
You might not know, but the auto repair company that pays the mechanics more than the other repair shops, they know in this area because they are the best. And guess what? I am the best because I am talking about Eurofix. Why would Eurofix do that? A decent technician can make 50 to 60 grand a year, and a good technician that's pretty fast can make up to $120,000 a year. Maybe I need to be a technician. And really, really fast technician who's really, really good, though, can make up to $180,000 as a mechanic. Can you believe that? And a lot of people look down on the mechanics, and they shouldn't. And local owner Aaron Stokes is an ex-mechanic. And mechanics are what make the world go round. Everything out there has to be worked on. So did you know Eurofix is not open on the weekends? And why? Because Eurofix wants the kids of moms and dads and employees to have weekends together and not apart. And Aaron Stokes figured out a long time ago, if home life is happy or unhappy, work life will be unhappy as well. So that's why Eurofix is open Monday through Friday, not on the weekends. And European vehicles fixed at below dealer pricing. 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all repairs at Eurofix that they perform in 5 locations throughout the state of Tennessee. And all you have to do is just give them a call at 844-EUROFIX. That's right, 844-EUROFIX, or you can visit them online at myEurofix.com. That's myEurofix.com.
Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons here on 104.5 The Zone, powered by All Four Seasons Garage Door. Cam Ward's up at the podium, but apparently the Tennessee Titans did not pay their internet bill, so we cannot carry it. So you'll just have to go to look at the videos online. He's being asked about Xavier Restrepo, who is still on the Titans practice squad. Every other team has had now multiple weeks to try to claim him off the practice squad or sign him off the practice squad. Nobody has, but everybody is continuously obsessed with Xavier Restrepo. And while the Tennessee Titans don't have anything to lose, Tennessee Titans don't have a lot of building blocks. So I want to ask you, besides Xavier Restrepo and Cam Ward, who are the building blocks on this team?
Man, I still look at the impact that Jeffrey Simmons has on the defense and think getting a little up there in age, but I still think he's a building block. I think Peter Skoronski, a good young player. I think I would say Roger McCreary, but I don't think he fits the physical profile of what this regime looks for in a cornerback. And so it kind of makes me worried. What's that? Yeah. So I kind of get a little anxious about what's going to happen with him, but I would consider him a foundational piece. I think Cedric Gray, we could be seeing develop into one of those guys. And then Chimere Dike, maybe Alec Ayumanor as with the proper expectations, Gunnar Helm with the proper expectations. Like these aren't going to become, in all likelihood, elite NFL players, but I think it's a good foundation to build upon. That's about it. I made a joke on 3HL the other day. I was in the chat talking to Brent and Ron, and I was like, the one thing that the Titans need right now is about 40 new players.
Dang. How does that make you feel hearing that play?
I mean, I'm just, I got a dark sense of humor. I'm a little tongue in cheek.
No, I know, but that's just. Yeah, he's right. I mean, when you start kind of going through, you can see it's only the young players that just got here are only 2 years in. I mean, it's just, it's where we're at now. And, with the circumstances, it's not a lot. And then the people you kind of think could be, you could tell since they're not draft picks of the current staff that, they're going to let them walk. As you said, McCrary, you see a young, good player, in his first contract. So if they don't try to get rid of him, then they're doing a disservice because now they're going to let him just walk and they get no compensation, even if it's a late round pick.
Yeah, I got something fun for you guys if you want to hear.
What about Hooker? Since they gave him an extension.
Ah, man. I don't know.
How do you think Hooker's – caller called in, and I haven't really been paying attention, so it made me kind of want to go back and watch him a little bit. But how do you think he's been playing? Because he tried to add in that, because he got the extension, like now he's not playing well.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll say I haven't noticed him in a catastrophic negative way.
Right.
I don't feel like he's necessarily a liability out there the way some people do, but I also think he's not playing the way he was. I felt like last year he was kind of sneaky Pro Bowl level caliber player.
He's definitely borderline right on the outside of that, yeah.
And I don't think he's playing up to that standard right now. And I don't know if it's the moving pieces around him, getting used to new guys to communicate with, or...
I'm going to tell you one thing, that does matter. Being a former safety, it does matter. So I was out there with some old sad puppy dogs that should have been out there, and I'm up there telling them everybody what to do, and next thing you know, they hike, and I ain't even in my spot.
Yeah.
See, so it does matter.
Yeah.
So there's new pieces around him, and I don't know if it's just a byproduct of everything else going wrong with the team or what, but I don't think it's been as bad as some people have said.
Stoney, you'll be hosting or on 3HL with just you and Ron Slay this Friday,
me and
right?
Slay on Friday.
Just Ron Slay and Stoney this Friday on 3HL.
I'm gonna tune into that.
Must listen radio.
I don't know who's gonna keep that show on the rails. We're gonna
Joseph,
test
I guess.
Joseph. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Better bring his lunch pail to work that day.
Just real quick, I tried to get this in here before we left, but Cam Ward quizzed media today and asked if they could spit a play call back at him. So he gave them a play call and asked who's going to step up and repeat it. And everybody said no shot.
So he gave him the Gruden.
He gave him the Gruden, the long play call. All right, that will do it for us. 3HL is coming up next. This has been Cover 2 with Blaine Bishop and Zach Lyons. Thanks, Stoney Keeley, for joining us. You can listen to Football and Other F Words and this Friday on 3HL. But in the meantime.
And in between time.
Peace.